It's 7:43 a.m. You're already late, and your daughter's shoes are still untouched on the floor, and she's screaming at you again. You've offered choices, stayed calm, but now you're on the edge of your own outburst. What do? For most families, this is an occasional tough morning, but for some, it's every single day. And it doesn't have to be. Picture yourself in this situation. What emotions do you feel? Frustration, helplessness, maybe even resentment and then guilt. Consider parenting a child where this happens daily. Not always about the shoes, but the intensity, the reactivity, the curveballs you dodge while you watch your child struggle. She's 7, so it's no longer age appropriate. For 20% of children, this is not an imaginary scenario. It is their overwhelming reality. These are bright, creative, exceptional children who can all of a sudden go from 0 to 60 and just shut down or melt down. And their creative minds just get hijacked. In parenting sensitive children, these kids don't just feel the world, they absorb it. Every emotion, every detail, every sound. As parents, we have to ask ourselves, how do we support our children who are stuck in panic without making ourselves someone that they could fear? What if we could do this playfully? Turning her no into okay. No more negotiating. Through play, this process can be simple. Let me show you. Do you want to put your shoes on like a penguin or like a lion? Roar! Roar! Imagine parenting your child in a way where they are learning how to self-regulate without shutdowns or meltdowns. Think about what that would feel like for you. Think about what that would feel like for your kid. Growing up, I was an academic, a bookworm with an Irish temper who tried to hide it because my sister was the one having the meltdowns. Believe me, that didn't work. And learning this skill was not easy for me. It did not come naturally. It took a lot to break me out of my intellectual, logical self to make play with children my second nature. And I can tell you as a play therapist, after teaching this to thousands of parents, this skill works especially well for sensitive children. Your first task in mastering this skill is putting yourself in the shoes of a child with this temperament. Picture yourself 7 or 8, and you're walking into a room and you're immediately blasted by everything. The murmur of distant conversations, the buzz of fluorescent lights, the way someone shifts awkwardly in their chair, the slight tension in the air, and your immediate urge to try to figure out what just happened and whether or not you need to do something about it. Psychologist Dr. Elaine Aron calls this trait sensory processing sensitivity. It is not a diagnosis. It is not a disorder. These kids are not broken. It is their temperament. But these children tend to be more perfectionistic. They can hyper-focus on the negative. They can also struggle with overstimulation and emotional dysregulation without skills. They are also deeply compassionate, creative, and wise. Without those skills, they are more prone to addictive behaviors, anxiety, depression, and, if left unaddressed, even suicidal ideation. That is why parenting sensitive kids through play is a preventative measure. It is not optional. The incredible part about these kids, though, is that they are more malleable by parenting than the other 80% of kids. That means that the children who right now might seem the most confusing to their parents are actually much more capable and even wired to change their emotions and their behavior through their relationship with their parents. So these kids will thrive when parents learn to teach them critical skills like frustration tolerance, asking for help, setting boundaries, and regulating their emotions safely so they don't carry it all day only to explode or implode at home. Your first way to start to solve this problem as a parent is to learn to validate your own emotions. Empower yourself to regulate in those moments. It's hard. Shake it off, release it, and then you can empower your child and inspire them to follow you. Because during those meltdowns, your child's brain is hijacked. They are hyper-focused on the negative. They are not recalling how difficult the solution is right in front of them. And it's hard for them to remember how creative or capable they are. Just like I tripped over my words right this minute. This is normal, but for sensitive kids, they feel it intensely. So when we engage as parents playfully, but regulated, and in the middle of that meltdown, we interrupt your child's fear. Their brain stops being focused on the problem as a bear running away or fighting it off. And instead, you are teaching them not how to solve the problem or what to do, but how to be in those moments. This brings their creative mind back online so that they can more effectively solve their own problem with their own ideas. Next, teach them self-awareness through feelings games, but ones that teach them how to connect those body sensations to emotions. Not games that teach them how to think differently about a problem. This allows them to free up their mind and be more creative, spontaneous, and effective of their own accord. Isn't that what we all want? Children who take in their own observations, who don't just stuff them, but mindfully observe how they can solve their own problems with their own sense of responsibility in an empowered manner? These are life-saving skills for sensitive children. These kids have a supercomputer for a brain, and they need to learn how to effectively communicate that. They don't need us to shield them from the world. They do not need us to tell them every single thing to do in the day. They need us to equip them to navigate it through the power of connection. When sensitive children learn how to communicate their needs safely so that they can feel understood, they don't just survive, they flourish. Start today. If you're parenting an exceptional child, it is up to you to get inspired to parent as an exceptional, playful leader. And for those of you without these children, without this blessing of raising a kid like this, it is your job to bring compassion, to help us build a more inclusive community. This transformation starts with all of you. Who's ready to play? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.